Hello. Yeah. And well, I would say Happy New Week, but it's not Tuesday. It's Wednesday because I didn't stream yesterday. So welcome in, and because I beat because I beat Mega Man Zero last week. Well, Mega Man Zero 2 also won one of the donation duels in October. So decided to go ahead and just pick right back up with Zero 2, like right after Zero 1. Just go ahead and beat it. So hold on, let me just. Kind of similar to okay, so kind of similar to Zero 1. I have played this game before because I had that DS collection of the Mega Man Zero games. Oh, look at that big twirling Z sprite. Oh, right. Oh, so well we've picked. Oh, so this one picks up right after Zero 1. It's been a year since Zero chose to take a different path from Seal. He still fights against Neo Arcadia, but these battles have lost meaning for him. So I guess he's still in that same desert, just fighting. Zero knows that to find his purpose, he should find Seal and the Resistance soldiers. So, I guess Zero's just been spending an entire year in that one cavern and that one quarry, just fighting robots. Or yeah, just fighting Neo Arcadia soldiers. But if we command it, but wait, if Zero killed Copy X, who was the leader of Neo Arcadia, then who's in charge of these robots? Let's go. Wait, hold on. Let's why is the Buster to be the main weapon? There we go. His sprite does look slightly different now. It actually looks a little more purpley, or like the parts that aren't red look a bit more purple. Nice background there. Yeah, I guess Zero just spent an entire year in this quarry fighting Neo Arcadian soldiers and is now just kind of getting tired of it. Oh, I see they upgraded those golems. Oh, okay. So yeah, kind of similar to like when I played Mega Man Zero 1 last week. I'm gonna try to play through this whole game this stream. We'll see if I'm able to. Because I remember this being like similar to the first Mega Man Zero game. I remember this being not that long. Okay, the targeting for that is a bit odd, but okay. Alright, the Buster shots only hit the head. Only work against the head. It is a little funny though that like at the end of the game, at the end of the last game, when a Zero told Seal that we need to go different paths, or that he and the Resistance need to go different paths, and then he started like like a desperate last stand against like a whole bunch of, and then he stood off, and then he faced off against a whole army in a desperate last stand against Neo Arcadia soldiers, And then after about a year, after like almost a year, that he's like, okay, well maybe it's not a year. Well, maybe it's not a year. Maybe it did. Basically, after like enough of that, he just went, yeah, I'm okay. I'm tired of this. All right, let me go find the resistance. Let me just go find the resistance. And it might not have been a whole year. It might have been just like a single, like only about a month or two after of doing this. He just got tired of fighting these guys like a year after. He got tired of fighting these guys or dealing with these guys only like a month, maybe even just like a week after having to deal with them. Oh, hey, listen, mate, welcome in. Is that friend or? Okay, maybe not. Nope. Robot Scorpion. Oh, well. Could have handled that a bit better. But yeah, if you're just coming in, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. So I guess that's just a neutral. That Robot Scorpion is not affiliated with. Guess they're not working for Neo Arcadian. Maybe they're just random evil Robot Scorpion just hanging around here. Oh jeez. Also, okay, I was commenting on how Zero's sprite looks a little different. His hair also looks a little more, a little paler as well. I guess maybe that's from him standing out in the sun for a whole year. Oh. I guess that's from him being in like in a sunny quarry for the whole year. Yeah, welcome in if you're just coming in. Hope you're doing well. Oh, also for those just come for to let y'all know, I think I've figured out what I want to do for the donathon. I'm gonna have to do. I'm still figuring out the donation goals that will happen for that stream. Or it might be like, well, not exactly one stream. It'll probably be like multiple streams. But yeah, I think I know what I want to do for the donathon itself. I just need to figure out the donation goals and decide when I want to actually do it, the donathon. For those who don't know, last week something awful happened with my bank account, and so now I have significantly less money than I thought I did left. So I might have to do like an emergency donathon soon just to try and get some money together. Somehow I did it. But it cost me everything. That's not a happy noise. Oh, it's you guys. 0. To live or perish. Oh, okay. Alright, a new resistance base, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to your great efforts, it gives me great pleasure to announce the completion of this new resistance space. I thank you all for accepting me as the commander of this new base. I promise to bring about a new era of peace. Woo! Yay! Victory! For peace! Yay! I'm still a little embarrassed when I think about being a commander. Are you sure about this? Trusting our fate to a replicant like me? Absolutely. It was you who organized to fight us to fight against Neo Arcadia when we were barely able to escape from there. I'm flattered. But you helped me all along. You know how unreliable I am without you, Seal. You just keep in mind that we had to organize a resistance force in order to defend ourselves. Yes, I'll remember that. And now we're buying time for you to complete your research. Still, since X has not been resurrected yet, we could ask for a better opportunity than now. Please, allow me to carry out my operation. Alright. But promise me one thing. Don't be too strict. You have my... excuse me, sir. It's about Zero. He was found lying unconscious. Just outside the base. What? Zero? This way. Oh, Zero! Zero! Zero. I have a sneaky suspicion that we might have already met the main villain for this game. Zero. I'm glad you're alive, Zero. Zero, you're functional again. You're in rough shape. What made you still alive? Welcome back. Where am I? You're in our new resistance base. Thanks to you, we were able to escape from Neo Arcadia and start a new life in this place. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry that we were unable to come rescue you. Come on, Seal. Zero must be very tired. We might have lots to discuss with him, but why don't we let him rest for a bit? And Zero, I'm afraid that most of your weapons were broken. Therefore, I have fixed them. I also created a new weapon, so why don't you come by later to pick it up? Okay, I'll go here. I'll be in my lab for a while. You'll talk to me when you're feeling better. Right. Okay, well the Z saber is still together, so not all the weapons are broken. Well, not all of our weapons are broken. Oh, you've recovered, Zero. You're known by all of our resistance soldiers, Zero. Well, except for the really new members who have just arrived here recently. If you meet someone, press up and then you'll talk with them. I'll be glad to talk with you. I remember Seal and Servo are looking for you. It is a little odd. It is a little funny that they have all the same sprites for the characters except for Zero. How about going to visit Seal and Servo first? Okay, well. So, my name is El Piso. I've been appointed as commander of this new resistance base. I've heard a lot about you. Please lend your support to us. Let's fight together and destroy Neo Arcadia. Destroy Neo Arcadia. Destroy Neo Arcadia, huh? It's not that easy. Then what are you going to do? Then what are you gonna do? I don't know. You're a funny Reploid. Anyway, nice to meet you, Mr. Legend. Yep, get the feeling he's gonna be the villain. Assume I'm gonna have a good one. Alright, listen, mate. Have a good day. I guess let's visit the lab first. Okay, it's it. No, okay. Okay, I just had to get closer to him. How are you doing, Zero? Honestly, how could you wear out your weapons like that? Don't worry, I fixed them. I even created a new weapon called the Chain Rod for you. It's an outstanding weapon. Want instructions? With the Chain Rod, you can hook and then hang on the ceiling or draw on an item. You can stab an enemy by holding the attack button as well as hitting an enemy normally. It's a useful weapon. You can also draw on an enemy once they are stabbed by pressing the... Why don't you try to hook the ceiling to hang? Okay, I'll get back to my research. Use it wisely. The shield, chain rod, shield boom, and shield boomerang. All right. Let's try the chain rod, and then I guess also let me try the shield boomerang. Okay, so that can be used to block attacks. Zero, are you okay? Uh-huh. That's good. I was so worried about you. We've been trying so hard to find you. I'm glad you found us. I found you. I came here before I lost consciousness? Do you remember what I'm working on? I'm conducting research that will help develop a subsequent energy for energy crystals. It's a great invention that could drastically change the world. Change the world? Neo Arcadia began its iron-fisted policy because of the energy shortage. In order to protect the human society, Reploids were discriminated against, labeled inferior citizens, and were sent to concentration camps for retirement. Wait, they even got concentration camps? What the hell? History shows that an energy shortage in an area usually triggers a large-scale conflict. Once a substitute energy has been developed, the destructive conflict ends. When I told this story to the Commander Alpizo, he laughed at it. He does say we will wait until I succeed in developing a subsequent energy, but in truth, Alpizo believes defeating Neo Arcadia is the only way to regain peace. I have to finish this. I'll bring order to the world not with destruction, but by the power of science. My research is almost done. I still need a little information though. Anyway, I'm gonna manage your data for you if you need me. If you need me, come and talk to me anytime, okay? I mean, I don't want to just say outright for the destruction of a city. I don't want to just say, like, all humans in an entire city should be destroyed, but, I mean, if they're building concentration camps, that's going a little bit too far. I guess let me go here. Oh, okay. So, that's the Operation Righteous Strike. We're going to take advantage of the absence of X and thrust our forces upon Neo Arcadia. Victory is in your hands. For a better tomorrow for all Reploids. For our future! Why, it's you, Zero. We're not preparing for an operation. Unlike the past minor-scale ones, this operation will inflict a crushing blow to them. Once it succeeds, it will boost the morale of the Resistance. Neo Arcadia is not a sitting duck. We cannot carry out a frontal assault. We can gain time with guerrilla operations and wait for SEAL to complete our research. Thank you for the advice. We are going to continue our guerrilla activities. We've gained strength, and we're ready to work it out by ourselves. I'm sorry, I was too harsh. Needless to say, we still appreciate cooperation. Um, will you help? Thank you. Now, here are the current missions I'd like to ask of you. Look at the monitor. Can you see them? They may not be enough of a challenge for a legendary hero, but it would be very appreciated if you help us. Okay, let's see who we got here. We got Highleg Orabacle. We got Polar Camrouse. We got Phoenix Magneton. And we got Panther Claws. Well, we'll just start with the snake. In this mission, I'd like you to rescue our comrades. There are ruins known as Dices deep in the forest. Scout soldiers who went there to investigate have not returned yet. I'd like you to send someone to rescue them, but considering our current state of preparing for the coming operations, we don't have a soldier available. I'm very sorry to bother you, but will you find and rescue them? Mission commencing. Everyone prepare for the transfer. We're now ready to transfer. Transfer start. Good luck. Oh, okay. The commander sent us here to investigate something called a baby elf. We encountered the Neo Arcadian army. Your comrades are still somewhere in the forest. Please save them, Zero. Oh, dang it. Okay, the ruins are beyond this forest. Use the portable trans server and rescue the resistance soldiers who are lost. Oh, is that like a view of the ocean back there in the background? I should not try. I should probably focus on the enemies in front of me instead of the background behind me. Okay. Ow. This basically is like a better version of the spear from the previous game. It just goes like a bit, it goes in multiple directions, and it goes a lot farther. And I can actually use it to like hook onto stuff. Dang it. Let's see, how much... Okay, I've got 4 full sub-tanks. See, I'm gonna try to go until I beat, I'm gonna try to beat this game today on stream, because it shouldn't be that long. There is also, and then also, after that, I'll play some Final Fantasy 2. There's also got a couple of trailers to watch from announcements that were, like, happened either yesterday or today. Because quite a bit was announced, some very interesting things were announced or shown off in the, Yeah, a couple of really interesting things were announced or shown off in the, past couple of days. Or, yeah, in the past couple of days. I might need to change, yeah. Yeah, okay, let me keep the Z-Saber. Oh, jeez. Oh, I need to have this thing, okay. Yeah, so I need to have this thing equipped. Jeez. Well then. That's better. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna be... Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Right there. Got that. Oh, damn. Okay, so I need to get up there. Yeah, quite a few things were announced, Quite a few things were announced, yesterday and today that I want to talk about, but we'll wait a little bit before I do that. Oh, gosh. Oh, dang it. Okay, so I can't let go. I have to, like, pull... I can hook items towards me, but I have to... Can't let go. That works, fine. That works. Just try to... I'll just use the brute force method that time. Yeah, that works fine. Ow. A little worried about that. Okay, there is a platform down there. Right there, and... There. There. Oh. Ah, gosh, there's the spikes. Well, I guess I'm gonna need that for this. I kind of have to stay... Yeah, I don't... Maybe I could use, like, I can actually move around there when the water's up. Not really, no. I still need to kind of stay here. There we go. Alright, let me switch back to Z-Saber. Oh, jeez. Hey, do I need to rescue them, or...? Thank you. I hope the others are fine. Thank you, Mr. Zero. The roots are full of truth. Please be careful. Okay, so I gotta get, like, right next to them in order to talk to them. Are those, like, spikes that'll just damage me, or are those insta-kill spikes? Well, hopefully I will... I won't have to find... Hopefully it's not the latter. Okay, they're not insta-kill spikes. Yeah, thank goodness for that. Oh, that's close. Yeah, you gotta be, like, right... You gotta be, like, at just the right distance away from them. Yeah, you gotta be, like, just the right distance away from them in order to, talk to them. I think this is the boss. Yep, this is the boss room.
Give that back, and your life may be spared. Hiss.
What are you waiting for? Run!
Hiss. This is a restricted area even for us Neo-Arcadians. You will never leave here alive. Hiss.
Oh, we got you snake guy and a snake robot and a snake platform. Hmm. Dang. Even incorporating the platform into the snake theme, that's impressive. Wait, so I wonder what it is that made I wonder what's the defining quality that decides if a robot is a maverick or not. Because I get the feeling that I I really get the feeling that like a lot of the more animalistic or unique looking Reploid like robots like this guy would be the ones kicked out instead of the very human looking very human looking ones.
If only that baby elf wasn't stolen, I could have easily destroyed that nameless soldier. Hiss!
X is probably very disappointed that probably very annoyed that he had to wake up again. It's been a long time, Zero. It's it's only been I mean it has been a year, I guess. X. I can no longer So, what the fuck did y'all do now? I was just enjoying a nice rest, was finally getting a break, and now my ghost has got to come back. Both baby elves have awakened. The baby elves are still children. They cry for their mother as they tremble from the loneliness. What's your point, X? The baby elves will do anything to reunite with their mother, stir the humans' minds, and bring chaos. It's all to meet their mother, the Dark Elf. The Dark Elf that I sealed. Wait, X. The Dark Elf. Mission accomplished. Transfer in progress. Transfer complete. Well done, Zero. You've been very helpful. With your valuable cooperation, we've been able to retrieve another baby elf. We now have both baby elves at Neo Arcadia kept inside their vault. Once again, I'd like to thank you for your support. Let's just save and then go on to the next mission. Oh, wait. What's up? Please tell me what you want to do. Oh, okay. Now let's just save. Alright, bye. Please speak with him. Okay, begin mission. I guess, yeah, let me just go to the next one. This mission is about sabotage. There's one of the computers in Antarctica, which controls the defense systems of Neo Arcadia. Once you destroy the Guardian boss in the computer room, the defenses of the enemy's stronghold will be weakened enough to carry out Operation Righteous Strike. Will you do this? Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's just go and go. So, just want to take a chance to say, any and all donations are really appreciated right now. Because yeah, especially right now, because with what happened to my bank account. So, direct donations especially, but bits, subs, and gifted subs are also appreciated. And yeah, as soon as I have everything decided for that donathon, I'll go ahead and announce what my plans for it are. It's just, I'm not sure what day it is going to happen now, but it will have to happen before the end of the month. There are 4 cooling systems for the computer room of the facility. Once you destroy all the systems, the abilities of the computer room will be weakened. Alright, let's go. Alright, we're gonna have to probably have to do with ice physics, because it is Antarctica. We're probably gonna have to do with ice physics, because it's Antarctica. Alright, go with that. Actually, no, not so far. I think. Let me actually, I guess, maybe switch these two around. Alright. Oh, good, we made it to the base. Oh, I see. Right, yeah, let's go. See, I don't expect this game to take... I expect it to be, like, around the same length as the previous Mega Man Zero game. Which was, like, only took me about 4 hours. Oh, there we go, okay. Okay, that's... Oh, damn it. Ah, dang it. Okay, let me break out of here. Okay. Yeah, alright, so... Oh, jeez. I don't think this is... Okay, this is not the boss room. Okay, it's like a mini-boss. So many different variations of these, Ow. Okay, that's that one done. Already looks like there's a lot more mini-bosses in this game compared to the previous one. Okay. There's the ice physics. I knew they would show up somewhere here. And more spikes. Oh, thank goodness. I actually thought I was going to get caught by some of those spikes. Alright, and... Oh, jeez. There, alright. Okay, dang. Oh yeah, one thing that I can go ahead and talk about that didn't happen, that happened, and doesn't require doesn't require me showing a trailer. Although okay, well, let me wait until I get through here. Oh, you're the one. You're trying to destroy us and confuse us. Well, I won't let you do that. I think. Okay. Ah, so slippery. Yeah, anyway, something that I can go ahead and talk about that doesn't require, showing a trailer is that, well, Bethesda did it again. They did it again, folks. Everyone who was like, this year is like Fallout 4's anniversary, like 10th anniversary year, and so everyone who was playing Fallout 4 and enjoying Fallout 4, which is it's one of the more contentious Fallout games. Quite a few people don't like it, but it's also quite a few people do like it. But apparently Bethesda decided that that's just not good enough. They can't have a game that only some people like and some people hate. They have to have a game that everyone either everyone loves or everyone hates. And so they released like a Fallout 4 like an anniversary edition upgrade, which is basically the Game of the Year edition from which is basically the Game of the Year edition that released in the year that Fallout 4 did not win Game of the Year. Calling a game Game of the Year edition, calling a game, giving a game a Game of the Year edition when it didn't win Game of the Year edition is kind of funny, in retrospect. Like, very arrogant. And very funny for the games that then went on to not win Game of the Year in, like, any competition. But anyway, yeah, so... Yeah, so what happened is, Bethesda released a upgrade for Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. Bethesda released an upgrade for Fallout 4 called Anniversary Edition, and this upgrade it well it basically includes all the DLC for the game, which was also in the Game of the Year edition. And it also has a bunch of stuff from a bunch of additional stuff from the Creation Club, which is basically just mods for Fallout games that Bethesda is charging people for. People adding stuff to like Fallout game, people adding like people made mods for Fallout game, and Bethesda kind of made like a group to charge them. Crash and Carry says Fallout 4 didn't win Game of the Year any year. Exactly. So yeah, they released this anniversary, and the only real new thing there is like to this anniversary edition is like a. Oh, there was also like some there was also some like increasing some like visual fidelity or making the game look nicer. Yeah, making the game look, yeah, kind of trying to make the game look nicer. But besides that, the really only new addition was the Creation Club stuff, and well, was what Bethesda intended. What actually happened is, in usual Bethesda fashion, this anniversary upgrade was like this anniversary edition upgrade. It's like it just gets added to the game automatically if you have Fallout 4, and for a lot of people, it borks the game. Like I tried out, I reinstalled Fallout 4 yesterday to kind of see like, okay, what exactly does this do for me? And it basically, for me, it changed all of my settings. It changed all of my graphic settings and like options. Like I had changed the color for some of the UI in the game, and I changed the color for some of the UI in the game in Fallout 4, and I had like changed the settings to where like all like subtitles happen for all dialogue. And this anniversary edition upgrade, it turned off the subtitles. It turned off the subtitles and like and set the colors for that UI back to default. And that's like a small minor annoyance. For other people, there's like reports of people being unable to get the game to start, and also because the anniversary edition is like an update to the game. It's an update to the game that kind of makes like other mods incompatible with the game, which everyone who's playing like a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game, anyone who's playing like a Fallout game, like Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, or or Skyrim, is gonna have mods installed. So in order to make the game properly function. So yeah, not only was it like, is it a $60 anniversary, like is this a $60 anniversary edition of a game that you can already get for like $20, and getting the game plus all the DLC adds. Well, okay, so like the Fallout 4 is currently on Steam. It's like $20, and then if you get the game and all the DLC, it's like $40. And then the mods you would want to get are like free because they're mods. So yeah, this anniversary edition is a $60 edition, where the only new edition is the Creation Club stuff and breaking all the mods you had installed. I can't believe this. I was beaten by this little bug thing. Oh. So, the reception to it has not been good, and as you can imagine, even people who like Fallout 4 are going onto the Steam page and like giving it and bombing it with negative reviews because nobody asked for this. Well, nobody asked for this, and it's like it's messing with their games. Well done. You're amazing as I thought you'd be. I've never doubted your success. Thanks to cooperation, our operations are progressing fine. You're such a great help to us. Hmm. Alright, let's save. And then just go ahead and start the next mission. So yeah, also just going like one of the other things that game, the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition adds is like one of the things it says it's done is I believe it's like it's like an HD remaster. But the issue with that is that well, Fallout 4's graphics when it released, Fallout 4's graphics were notoriously not good when it released. Not in like well, okay, that's not correct. Fallout 4's graphics were fine. It's like actual like visual style was not great when it released in like 2015. The game had a lot of because it was using the same engine. It was using the same engine Bethesda had been using for Skyrim and I believe Fallout 3. And like all the character models in the game are just very clearly like using the same template as your main character, right? As the character you're playing as. So, and they just the character models they just don't look right. For the people, that is. The monsters actually oddly enough, interestingly enough, the monsters and enemies in Fallout 4 the monsters in Fallout 4 are kind of much better, like have much better quality models than the actual human characters. PokeMaster says it did get Game of the Year from a few outlets, including the DICE Awards and the BAFTA Game Awards, the big one in the UK. There is no way to exterminate all of Neo Arcadia. The rumor says that there is an arms factory in the city situated about 100 kilometers north of our resistance base. We found a power reactor supplying electricity to the factory close to there. If we destroy the power reactor, we should be able to limit their number of enemy soldiers. Actually, let me check to see. Okay, this will take. I'll have to remember this because, what year did Fallout 4 release? I believe it was. Yeah, okay, it was 2015. So its 10th anniversary date was actually just 2 days ago. So, what released along in 2015? Undertale. Yeah. Yeah, no, it didn't win Game of the Year. Oh, Bloodborne. Oh, no, no. Yeah, no. Just a cursory glance at like what games released in 2015 to see like what were Fallout 4's contemporaries. Oh, let me just read this out. Destroy all power reactors to put a stop to the factory functions for good. Currently, there are 4 power reactors in operation. So yeah, Fallout 4 like released in the same year as Undertale, Bloodborne, Witcher 3. And just, I mean, just because of those three, there's no way it was gonna win Game of the Year. And the highlight is like, okay, I'm mocking Fallout 4 a bit. I'm mocking Fallout 4 a lot, but to keep this in mind while I'm mocking this game a lot. I actually Fallout 4 is one of my guilty pleasures. Is one of my guilty pleasures of video games. It is a. I don't think it's a good game, but I still can spend like quite a bit of time playing it. Oh, that's a neat little thing for this stage. Is that a zombie robot? No, okay, no. It kind of looked like a zombie robot. See, this is all this mocking of Fallout 4 is coming from someone who actually does like the game. So, but yeah, no, just incredibly funny. Incredibly funny that they, in retrospect, it's incredibly funny that that game had a Game of the Year edition when there was like, when even from someone who, even coming from me, someone who likes the game and hasn't fully played through Witcher 3, uh, hasn't fully played through Witcher 3, hasn't played through Bloodborne, and just and considers Undertale kind of good, pretty good, but not like a jet, but not like an but not like the. I think Undertale is pretty good, but I don't believe it's like the unbelievable, like the one of the greatest games of all time, like a lot of other people do. So, so this is a game I actually like and have played more. But even then, I would still say there's no way it would win Game of the Year compared to those three. Pokemon Master Shoes, how's Bits going anyway? Oh, do you mind? What do you mean? Uh, Sorry, I think I'm just not I think I'm just not. Sorry, I think I'm just not understanding the question. Pokemon Master Shoes says, problem is, given how many of the Game of the Year awards there are, how can you stop anyone using the name if they win it from somewhere? That is true. I should totally do that. No, 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 no. It, for if I am able to if I'm able to fully make a video game, I should make if I'm able to fully make a video game, I should release like a version release a version that's like game of the decade. Game of the century edition. Even though like I'm willing to bet whatever game I make will not end up winning any Game of the Year awards. That'd be nice, but that'd be nice, and I do want to try to make like whatever game I end up making. I do want to make it a very good one. I want to make it. I'm going to try to make it good. I just don't know how likely whatever game. I just considering what the ideas I have for the games I'm considering making. I don't know how. I don't think they would win any nominations for. I don't think anyone would nominate them for Game of the Year. Pokemon SKUs and different award groups have different date points where they start and end too. So sometimes they end up having different composition in different parts. Okay, so. Hmm. Ow. Alright, that's. Oh. Can I. No, I can't get through there. This might kill me. Yeah, I might die here. Oh, dang. Oh, Pokemon Q says, I was asking how things are for you. So I'm not sure if you heard about how my... I'm not sure if you were there for when I talked about how my bank account is, well, my bank account incorrectly listed how much money I have left, so I've got, like, significantly less money than I thought I did. But, yeah, because of that, I'm gonna have to... Well, If you have heard, if you did hear me say that, I'm sorry for bringing it up again. Pokemon Match, because you were saying that the weekend. Oh, okay. I know I brought it up on the weekend. I know I brought it up during the weekend, but I had forgotten. But I wasn't sure who all was there for me to say that. I think I figured out like what idea I'm gonna have to do for the donathon. I'm just gonna have to figure out. I just need to come up with what I want to do for the donation goals for that stream, or not stream. It's gonna likely be multiple streams. Yeah, I need to figure out what kind of donation goals I'm gonna do for. I just need to decide what donation goals I'm going to do for that donathon, but I think I've got figured out like what I'm going to do for that donathon. And it's going to have to happen. It might even happen as early as next week. It might even happen as early as next week, but it's definitely going to have to happen before the end of the month. Pokemon Excuse, I've just been reading a new twist in the Missing Unicorn saga. Ooh. Oh wait, never mind. That's the Oh, never mind. That's the Gozuger situation. Oh gosh. Oh wait. What are you doing here? How dare you fool around in my area? I am Phoenix Magnion. I'll make you pay for this insult with my Phoenix Flame. I shall purify your evil mind with my flame. Pokemon Rescue says Toei has filed a lawsuit against Reform Agency. Really? Really? Has there been any reason stated? Has there been any reason stated so far? Well, yeah, has there been any mention of like the reason why so far? It's only filed as a contract dispute. Oh. Oh. Those guys look kind of familiar, but I'm not sure. I don't think they were from the Zero game. Or I don't think they were from 01. Jeez. Okay. So going from that Pokemaster Cube, it's sounding like Toei themselves aren't. Well, I'm not really sure, but I wonder if there's a chance then that Toei themselves was not happy with like having to releasing Mai Inamori from Gozuger. Although it could be for some, although it could not be. Pokemaster says Japan only updates their public records of court stuff once a week, Wednesdays, and Toei filed this on Monday. As it's a pending thing, the record only noted who is filing it, who it's against, and what category of case it is. Technical details remain out of view until it actually gets before judge. Okay, so we're not going to learn. So it's basically just all we know right now is that Toei has filed a lawsuit against the company who had hired Mai Inamori's former talent agency. But we're not going to know any details of the case until. We probably won't know any details of the case until next week, I'm assuming. Hey, Sleepless, welcome in. It just you just missed another round. You just missed another round of kicking around Bethesda. It's or you missed the annual. You missed the annual Bethesda did something stupid and everyone's mocking them for it. Okay, Massachusetts. That's if it actually gets to be seen by the judge. They could settle it out of court. Ah. Slim says, "Damn, I missed that. I could repeat it if you want. It's a new interest. It's a very interesting way that Slim says, I love a good Bethesda bashing. Like it was me, a person who was a, it was me, a person who actually likes the game, that was getting bashing the game. Okay, so to repeat it, so here we'll repeat the story. So what? Well, I'll repeat the story. But what basically happened is that Fallout 4's 10th anniversary, or like Fallout 4 originally released November 10th, 2015, and so to celebrate, I'm saying that in quotes. Bethesda thought it would be a celebrate. Bethesda thought it would be a good celebrate anniversary present. No one else did. Bethesda announced or released an anniversary edition update to Fallout 4, which really just it's the base game with like some graphical upgrade with like some graphical upgrades. It's the base game with some graphical upgrades, and then it also has all the DLC and the Creation Club. A bunch of stuff from the Creation Club, which the Creation Club is basically paid mods to the game. Like it was mods made by creators that you could pay Bethesda for. Dang, I am really messing this up. And so what happens is, so this anniversary edition came out and released, and what happened is, well, for one thing, it's not a good deal. You can get Fallout 4 on Steam, just the base game, for $20. Getting the version of the game plus the DLC is like $40. This anniversary edition is $60. And then also, because it's Bethesda, one thing that's happening is this anniversary edition upgrade is messing with everyone's games. Like, just for me, myself, I reinstalled Fallout 4 to see what was going on. I reinstalled Fallout 4 just to see, like, what was going on. Or to see, like, how my game was affected. And just for me, it had basically it had messed with a lot of my settings for the game. Like, for example, in Fallout 4, dialogue subtitles are turned on by default, but general subtitles are turned off by default. And also, there's like a specific like green tint to the UI, and I changed both of those things. I turned on dialogue subtitles, and I changed the UI to look more blue because I like the color blue. After the update, those settings had been rechanged. They've been reset to default. And I got off easy. There are now reports of people being unable to load the game. There are now reports of people being unable to load the game after the anniversary update. And also, because this is a... And also, because this anniversary edition of this anniversary edition updates the game to where a lot of mods are now incompatible with the game, which is like if you're playing Fallout 4, you got some kind of mods installed. Fallout 4 is similar to Skyrim in that playing the game with mods. Playing the game with mods and the game without mods are two completely different experiences. Pokemon Excuse, they did that with one of the re-releases of Skyrim before, yep. So, now, because of this, and because of these reactions, even people who like Fallout 4 are mocking the game. Like, Fallout 4 is actually a guilty pleasure of mine. It's one of those games that, for me, it's one of those games I don't think is necessarily a good game, but it is fun enough to where it's a game I like to play Like I like to play it in my spare time when I'm watching something else and want to just listen to a show or podcast while playing something. Oh, also just another thing. So the whole game updating, like getting like like a higher, I believe it's higher. A part of the update was adding higher visual fidelity, or like higher visual fidelity, or like upgrading updating the graphics to like be better. That doesn't really help Fallout 4. The game, it's a game. Fallout 4 is a game that both looks. Again, this is coming from someone who actually likes the game. Fallout 4 is a game that both looks good and doesn't look good. It looks good and awful because it's got a lot more color to it than Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. But or not, it's got a lot more color to it than Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. But those games didn't have much color because that was part of their atmosphere. They were trying to have like a very they were trying to have a that Fallout 3 and New Vegas, they look like really like they look really gross. They look really gross by today's standards, but part of that was intentional because the games were set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Fallout 4, it's like it actually tries to have like a more vibrant color palette, which on the one hand does make it look like more pleasing to like it does make it look more generally like more colorful and like generally like better. However, there is a problem. There's a major problem with the game, in that because it's still using the same game engine as Skyrim, uh, Fallout 4's character models are awful. The human character models look basically like your main character model, just with some slight differences, depending on what you changed for them. I was actually just saying this earlier, Sleepless. Fallout 4's monster character models, like the models for enemies like the Deathclaws or Ghouls, look better and are significantly more better animated than the human models. And remember, Fallout 4 is supposed to be an RPG where you interact with characters, although they messed up the RPG mechanics. Well. You might be hearing this and wondering, okay, well, Brawl, then why do you still like the game? And the simple answer is really it's the shooting. It does feel really good to act. It's as much as I think Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, and even in some regards Fallout 3 are better than Fallout 4. But Fallout 4 does actually it's a first-person shooter. It's a first-person action RPG where the action part feels the best, but the RPG part feels the worst. I could do an entire streams I'm gonna do in the future on talking in depth about Godzilla movies. I could do an entire series of streams of that, talking about the difference of Fallout 3 versus Fallout New Vegas versus Fallout 4. I have actually. The truth is, this is not. I have not been subtle about this, but y'all already know this. But even as much as y'all know that I'm a massive Fallout fan, I'm even more so a big Fallout fan. But I have just not been played the games on stream because I felt that it was better to focus on other things. And of course now, because I'm doing that whole ban against Microsoft-owned games. Anyway, Pokemon there's reports that the agency still have control of her likeness despite her being fired until the contract they had with her expires, and they told Toei they can't use her likeness anymore, hence why Toei had to remove her from the show. Fucking Johnny and Associates. I know it's not Johnny and Associates, but I know that Johnny and Associates has even changed their name from Johnny and Associates, but still. It's a fucking Johnny and Associates. Are you telling me it's another Johnny and Associates thing? And they told Toei they can't use the likeness anymore, hence why Toei had to remove it from the show. Now, we don't know how true that is, but if Toei are filing against them, it does give some possibility that it's true in some form. Pokemon Master they did that with one of the re-releases of Skyrim before. Slew says, please tell me they used AI to upscale the graphics and that it botched it. No, but something else did, and in an even more sad way. Not Bethesda-related, but something else did use AI to try and upscale it and make it look worse. But it's even more sad. But it's even more sadder. So he says, how morally bankrupt do you need to be to actively sell other people's content they built on your game in the last decade? See, one of the things that has kind of trapped one of the things that's kind of trapped Bethesda games is because Bethesda games were so easily, like, they were so technically, or like, because Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Skyrim were like so technically not great, or like because they had so many problems technical wise, people were able to easily mod them, and people so extensively modded those games to where now the modding is a feature. So in a way, Bethesda is kind of they have been trapped. They've been trapped. Their mediocrity, the problems with their some of their Bethesda games has trapped them. Because if they were to like, there's a chance. I mocked Fallout 4 for using the same engine as Skyrim, but there's a chance that if they try to get a new engine, people would not be able to mod the game, which is would not be able to mod the whatever game they made without using the engine. Which that's one of the main things. Like that's one of the big things. That's one of the big things, like one of the biggest things for Bethesda games. There are entire we're actually getting to a point where there are full-on indie-made games that were built like those devs got their start by making Skyrim mods. There was a game called The Forgotten City, which came out and got a lot of awards. That game started as a Skyrim mod. And then, like, after the Skyrim mod got like really highly praised, and I think maybe even won some awards in its own right, the developers decided to like take that and like kind of change it to where it's like give it like a Roman mythology, a Rome feel to it, and kind of make so that they could actually make their own game. Sleep says, "Don't please tell me the." Oh wait, sorry, I already read that one. So I do have a sadder story about the AI upscaling, but I'll get to that in just a second. So he says, didn't Bethesda have this reckoning early on with Fallout 76 when they banned people for using basic stability bots to keep from having constant desyncs? Oh, the issues with Fallout 76. That's why, even as a Fallout fan, and even as someone who has heard that the game has gotten better, I don't think I could ever get into playing Fallout 76, despite like how big a fan of the series I am, just because of, I will never forget just how, like, one of the dominant stories of the year that Fallout 76 came out wasn't just like it wasn't the game releasing, it was the issues with the game. Yeah, actually getting to this. So the whole AI related thing, this is something that happened recently, and it's not with the series I generally have much interest in. But I don't want to mock this just because of how sad, but it's a series that I'm not a fan of, and like am okay with not being interested. It's a series I'm not a fan of, and I kind of mock quite a bit, but the actual case of like the generative AI use in this case it's such a sad one that I actually feel sorry for the fans of the series. Basically, there was an effort this year was like, I believe this was like an anniversary year for like the Mortal Kombat series or something like that. So Mortal Kombat had two big releases. They had the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which is from what I've heard, that Legacy Collection is not doing well. Like, it's got a bunch of problems with, like, going on. It's got quite a few problems on its own. Like, but I haven't really looked much into that. But the other story I heard was that there was also an art book released for Mortal Kombat. And, well, someone had the stupid idea to try and make high-quality versions of the original Mortal Kombat, like, character roster portraits with generative AI. So they took pixel art and tried to run it through generative AI, and it looks horrible. It looks like the characters' faces are being smeared across the screen. Okay, Massachusetts says, I personally would give a bit more leeway with going after mods in an online game, because they need to keep things from someone having unfair advantages. If you're going to do mods in an online game, have to go onto its own server, like how most of the Dark Souls mods do. And you do have a good point with that. You do have a good point with that, PokeMaster. In this specific case, it's really just because it's Fallout 76. It's like, whatever they're... even if they have a potentially good reason for it, on top of just all, but even if they have a potentially good reason for like not for going after those modders, those mods just that's going to be added on to all the other problems that people have with Fallout 76 when it yeah, it's one of those cases where that's going to be like one of the it's one of those cases where even if there is a slightly understandable reason for why Bethesda did that, it's just there were so many problems with Fallout 76 that that's still going to be considered a problem because we'll just add it on to all the other problems with Fallout 76 that happened in its release year. Also, for those just coming in, there is at some point during the stream, there are quite a few trailers that happened during yesterday's State of Play, and one or two that got announced today that I'd like to watch on stream, but we'll wait a little bit before I do that. There were a couple of things announced at the State of Play that were interesting to me, and again, a couple of things announced today that are interesting. I think this is going to kill me again. Let me see if I can kill this thing first. Oh. These characters really do look familiar, but I don't know what they're from. I guess they might be Mega bosses from like a previous Mega Man game. Bucky Master Q's, I have a couple guesses of what you'd be announced that you might be happy for. Oh jeez. Dang. Sleep says, I beat Sky first chapter last night, Brawl. I gotta do ending cutscenes still, but I got the trophy bringing every monster in the game, though. Dang. Impressive. Congratulations. Oh yeah, also for those just coming in, I think I've kind of figured out what I want to do for the Donathon. I just need to figure out what I'm gonna do for the I just need to figure out the donation goals. And then also decide, like, when I want to do that. It'll probably have to happen before the end of the month, just considering how, just considering the state of, like, just considering the state of my finances right now. Here, let me try to beat this bird, defeat this robot bird, and then I'll see if I can. Let me see if I can beat this robot bird. Let me try to beat this robot bird, and then we'll watch some of those trailers. Bucky Max is one of them a certain skull-faced masked hero in a mecha game? Could be. But it might also be something kind of extra onto that that I don't, that appeals to, that is good for me specifically. Okay, huh? Let me just. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna try to beat this thing, and then we'll watch all the different trailers. There are only 3 things that I had interest in and kind of already know them happening, just not the fine details. There were a couple of things from the State of Play I had interest in, but there were also some things talked about today, or announced today, that I had some interest in and wanted to talk about. One of them was Fallout 4 messing up, because even as someone who likes Fallout 4, that's just the way they messed it up is like the way they messed it up out of nowhere. Like Like all Bethesda really had to do was just like all Bethesda really would have had to do is just like release this, like put the game on sale. Like I said, the base game is like $20, and the game base Fallout 4 is $20, and the DLC, like the game with DLC, is like $40. So yeah, just if all they could have had to do is just to all they would have had to do is just like put the game on sale and like put the game on sale and that would have been fine. People would have been. They didn't really need to do this like anniversary edition upgrade that borked the whole game. Okay. Damn it. Okay, well, let's watch all those trailers then. Let's watch all those trailers then. So the first one, okay, I'm gonna first start with one that I have to apologize for because well, as is the case sometimes, as is the case sometimes I make a joke often about how I play when I play different games on the channel, that usually like I have a gift of prophecy. I have a gift of prophecy where I can cause game where me playing a game on the channel will sometimes cause things to spontaneously something for that game or series to spontaneously appear. Um but I say a joke about that, and so sometimes I do it as a funny bit where I like jokingly say like, "Oh dang, because I played this game, that means that's how we got this good announcement." But unfortunately, because of sometimes that happens, sometimes we get a bad announcement, which is why I have to apologize for because of my powers, because of my weird game prophecy powers, and because I played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart earlier this year. Well, I'm sorry we got a Ratchet and Clank mobile game. I didn't know this would happen. I didn't know I would cause this. I don't know how these powers work. I wish I did. So I don't know how I caused this, but I'm sorry for I apologize for causing this. So it says, I'm less mad that this will exist and more mad at myself that I'll end up having it on my phone. The thing is, it does have a nice art style to it. Like the really cartoon, the very cartoony looking characters. This does actually have a nice set. This actually does have a nice like visual quality to it. The only thing is like though is that I can't really see this surviving long. So it says, real question is why only mobile? This could be on PC and console too, and it'd probably do significantly better. There's another question as well. Yeah, a Ratchet and Clank like multiplayer shooter. I do think that would be like I don't think that I feel like making a Ratchet and Clank multiplayer shooter will end just about as well as making a Crash multiplayer game, which I doubt any of y'all remember when that happened. But there's at least some potential there. Yeah, there's at least some potential with like a Crash multiplayer only game, because it's like a third person shooter. And I mean, the gameplay for Ratchet and Clank is a lot of fun. Slim says last year they made that 3v3 Wumpa Gathering game. I think it's already been taken down. But yeah, we've kind of reached a state with mobile. We kind of reached a state. It's funny. I think one of the biggest games of the year was I think one of the biggest games of this year is probably could be considered Uma Musume because of. But it's funny that in that even though that like one of the biggest games this year was Uma Musume, a mobile game. That was really because Uma Musume. I mean, part of that is because Uma Musume has been going strong. Like it's already existed for years in Japan, so it's got like 5 years of it's got 5 years of build up before it released like outside Japan. To my knowledge, if I'm wrong about that, please let me know. But it's like base now we're kind of reaching the state with like mobile games. We're like it's almost like making a mobile game of your popular series is almost it's like a series that didn't start as a mobile game is almost like instantly a death sentence for the game, which feels a bit sad. Which is a bit sad because like it's a bit sad because there's always because like some of these games do feel like they could have potential, but I think the main issue is that for a lot of these series that this happens with, it's usually with series where we haven't seen a new game or new announcement in so many years, like that Ratchet and Clank one, like the Dissidia game that I mocked and will continue to mock. That was a game that was a game that like people had been like people were aside like saw Dissidia and were excited, and then they saw it was a mobile game and it instantly just lost excitement. The Fire Emblem Shadows, as awful as that mobile game was, it didn't really hit as hard because like right before Fire Emblem Shadows got released, Shadow dropped. A new Fire Emblem game was announced. So is that thing still active or did it EOS already? I think the the Crash game only lasted for about a year. Yeah, I think the Crash multiplayer game only lasted for about a year. Sleep says, "Look, at least Ratchet Clank has a pulse. Remember that Insomniac Mega Link last year? Mega Link last year. There was no RNC on that timeline. If I remember correctly. It was all Marvel games. Yeah, sad to see that. Anyway, so getting on to the announcements from the getting on to the announcements from the state of play that I was actually that happened that I was actually excited for. So first off, there's okay, there was something really for Tokon. It was really just them announcing like a second closed beta, and this one's gonna have Spider-Man and Ghost Rider in it. No new characters announced, which is sad. Um, but they did have something. Basically, we did have something happen to where like every who are like a normal fighting game fan to paraphrase something that someone else online said, normal fighting game fans got to experience the dread that happens when when a character is announced to be a me fighter costume in Smash Bros. Which was I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward to this trailer. This X-Men this they didn't announce a new character, but they did announce this X-Men stage. And this X-Men stage has a bunch of other characters in the background, including let me see if I can just let me see if I can pause it at the right time. So yeah, so just right here in the background, we got like Colossus, Beast, Angel, and Professor X. Slim says Nightcrawler's there. Yeah, and that's why I'm bringing this up because my heart breaks now. I was so hoping for us to get like because all the characters in Tokon are taking influence. Our Arc System Works has says that like characters in Tokon, they kind of took design inspirations from anime and tokusatsu, and like they try to give them a very Japanese, like a design very inspired by like Japanese design aesthetics. I was so hoping that we could get like One Piece Nightcrawler. What Nightcrawler? What Nightcrawler's like? There are two sides of Nightcrawler. There's the side that that he's a fun, charming, uh, he's a fun, charming character who wants to be a pirate, and is a lady, and is a charismatic ladies man. And then there's the not great side, which is let's just make him the most Catholic guy imaginable. Just all Catholic, like full on. He's full on pre. He's full on priest in the priesthood, always talks about the Bible, the not fun side. And I was so hoping we could get fun. I was so hoping we could get fun Nightcrawler. Oh, also Sleepless just yeah to break your heart. Psylocke is also there in the background there. Yeah, I was so hoping we could get like pirate One Piece inspired or like Nightcrawler design with a design inspired by like One Piece with like three sword fighting style. I was so hoping we could, and I have seen like a friend, one of my friends did mention that like characters change because characters constantly change. Yeah. Because a friend of mine did mention that like characters are constantly going in and out of the background, so there's a chance that these are just characters are in the background here, but they could actually join the they could actually join the roster later. And I mean, if that is, and I mean, that actually has happened before with other fighting games. Like I believe one case is Poison from one of the Street from I forget if it was Poison in Street Fighter 4 or Poison in Street Fighter 5, but she was originally a character like in the background, then she got added to the roster. I forget which game exactly it was, but so there is a slight chance, but like the fact that they're fully modeled here, the fact that they're fully modeled here, um, in the background, it just that I don't think the chance is high. Like compare like also the fact that these characters have like very standard, well, not bad designs, not bad designs, but standard designs. Like this basically looks like a 3D model version of like Psylocke from the older Marvel vs. Capcom games, which is kind of her standard look. This is a very like this is a standard Nightcrawler look. Compare these two looks and designs here, which are like they made 3D like which is like they made 3D models with some animation of like the of like kind of like what you'd like standard expect for these characters. Compare that to Storm here, who is like and just like the crazy redesign they gave her and the crazy redesign they gave her. That still has an outfit like it's still her outfit is still reminiscent of like some of the other outfits she's had, but it is a very unique look for Storm. I mean, like you could compare Storm's like how Storm looks in this game versus how she looks in Marvel Rivals with her like her base design in Marvel Rivals, and it looks like very different, completely different. And both of them look like very different from her or like the outfit you'd imagine first when you think of Storm from Marvel. This is basically like this is the outfit. These are the outfits you'd imagine when you first think of Nightcrawler, and or generally what you'd first imagine when you think of Nightcrawler or a Psylocke. Fucking Mascu's, I don't see Pixie, so come on, best X-Men girl. Arxis did announce like that they. Oh, and also Gambit's here. Gambit's here. So poor. Well, okay. Gambit's here. So I would say poor one out for the Gambit fans. However, it was just announced that Gambit's going to be in Marvel Rivals, and also Rogue from X Men. And apparently, Rogue is being voiced by like the voice actress who played her in X Men the animated series and X Men '97, and when she was in the Marvel vs. Capcom games, which is nice to see. But yeah, Arxis when they announced this game said that they were going to have some really deep. They were going to have some characters who had never been in a Marvel fighting game before. Yeah, when Arxis announced that when this game was announced, Arxis said that they would have some deep pulls and characters that had never been shown before, that had never been in a Marvel fighting game before. So I was really pulling for Nightcrawler, but he's sadly not here. Hopefully we could still get She-Hulk, or if she's well, I mean even I'm still hoping for She-Hulk, and I'm still hoping for her to get into Marvel Rivals. But even if those two don't happen, she is in Marvel Cosmic Invasion with like one of her best designs in there. So I'm okay there. I'm satisfied. I'll still be satisfied. Sleeper says, and there's also rumors that Cyclops is a secret character coming in the new season too. Fucking Mascu says most of the animated series cast returned for '97, only a couple of changes. Yeah, that was not. We got some news for Marvel Tokon, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was basically normal fighting game fans getting the experience of like when a character is confirmed when a character is confirmed for or when we get like a Smash Bros trailer and it show who be getting into the Mii Fighter costumes. Next thing to mention, and again, I'm not going to watch like the whole state of play. I'm just going to go over the things that I found interesting. But yeah, next thing to mention is Digimon Story Time Stranger getting some DLC. Which is, it looks to be just like some extra Digimon and this guy with the gun.
We must do what we can.
Oh, English.
Your spirit.
Still really hoping that if I can get enough, yeah, if I can get enough money, still hoping I can play Digimon Story Time Street before the end of the year. But it's going to depend heavily on how things go. That might even be one of the donation goals for the Donathon. Pokemon Massachusetts guy with the gun is a side character in the main game. Ah. Well, after so many, after so many Digimon had guns after we got so many Digimon with guns, it's fun. It's good to see that the humans are getting some as well. The Yeah, that was the kind of a simple one, but yeah, it looks like Digimon Story Time Stranger is getting some DLC. Okay, next. This one came out of freaking nowhere. This one came out of freaking nowhere. Disgaea Action RPG. Like, it's called Kyoran Makaism, so it's not listed as a Disgaea game, but those are Disgaea monsters. Those are Disgaea character designs. It's a Disgaea game. It's also crazy to see, like, the 3D in here looks a lot better than the 3D has looked in previous Disgaea games. And so yeah, that looks interesting. And also what's interesting about this game is I found this in an article after the trailer released. So this Kyoran Makaism game is scheduled to come out January 29th, 2026. Which is already that means that this is the second Disgaea game in a row that will release around my birthday. I'm not sure, for those of y'all who weren't here when this happened, like Disgaea 6 or okay, it might not be the second game in a row, but basically Disgaea 6 or 7, one of the two released around my birthday, which is January 27th when that game came out. So this is the second Disgaea game that's going to release around my birthday. It's going to release a little after it, so I won't be able to play it on stream on my birthday, and I mean, we'll just have to see if I'm able to buy it, because that's going to heavily depend on how much money I have by the time it comes out, but still. Slim says, for me, the things I was interested that I wasn't already planning to buy were No Sleep for Kaname Dante, Wandering Sword, Kyoran Makaism, and Tokyo Extreme Racer. Oh yeah, the Wandering Sword RPG, that looked really interesting. That looked really good, like a 2D, HD 2D RPG with a wuxia theming to it. That looked really nice. Especially, yeah, that looked really nice. Especially, that was actually a game I've had on my wish list on Steam for some time, but I'm glad it's getting to PS5. Coming to PS5 because it looks really good. Okay, then also next thing was so it looked like it took place on the Live Alive battlefields. Speaking of games that remind me of Live Alive, so Octopath Traveler, we got a new Octopath Traveler 0, we got a new trailer for. Which I'd say that even if I had the money for it, I'd probably play Octopath Traveler 2 first before I play this one, because Octopath Traveler 2 has been on my backlog for some time. So this wasn't on my list only because I've already pre-ordered it. Well, same with DQ7. Okay, that's actually kind of a with kind of similar thing going on with DQ7 as with Octopath Traveler 0. I am interested in playing them. However, there's games I want to play first. Like, I've had Dragon Quest 3 Remake, and I've owned Dragon Quest 3 Remake for about a year now, and I'd like to fully play through that, and then also play through the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remakes before I get to Dragon Quest 7. And then in Octopath Traveler 0's case, I'd like to play Octopath. I've had Octopath Traveler 2. I'd like to play through that game before I get to Octopath Traveler 0. But this does look really good.
Why have you come to Wishvale?
The town is engulfed in flames.
This does look really good.
There's still something I can do. Here they come! Let me see you bleed! Go down! Blood!
Wounds be healed.
So this is fair warning, Octopath 2 is going to be a beast when you get to it. I mean, well, let's be real here. There's few RPGs that I'm planning on playing that won't be incredibly long when I get to them.
All the
Like,
riches of the world are mine. Why? I'll even give you this dirty little town you so love to do with as you
even the games that might be shorter.
How
even the games that might be shorter, like the Kingdom Hearts games and the Battle Network games, those are games. Some of those are games where I want to play multiple of them in succession, which will mean that they'll be longer.
Town, I finally understand what's truly important to me. Let's do our best to rebuild Wishvale into the place it used to be.
You said it. I'm ready when you are.
So if you get one stream a week at 8 hours, it would take you 2.5 months minimum. Dang. Well, I don't even know if I'll be able to do I don't even know how much longer I'll be able to do 8-hour-long streams. Again, it heavily depends on like when I get a it heavily depends on when I get a
I must atone for my sins.
on if I'm able to get a job.
Cost me my very life. For I am the master of all.
Oh, there is something. Okay, I did hear something about Octopath Traveler 0 that apparently this game is based on a mobile game.
You would defy your king?
Yeah, that apparently like this was originally a mobile game that is now getting a console port.
You weren't able to protect your own home, were ya?
Did you not foresee the calamity your actions might bring?
Which would explain why in the battles there it had like 3 characters, like it had about 12 characters instead of just 4.
Flame will never die, no matter how many times it is engulfed in darkness.
So it says the story is based on the story of Champions of the Continent, but they're reworking it from damn near every level, so it actually works. Good. Oh, also they announced a demo, which is nice. That's good. So yeah, that was another thing. That was another thing that was announced. Well, okay, not announced. We'd already seen Octopath Traveler 0, but they revealed quite a bit more about it. Okay, then now let's get to what was the main event of, well, for me, it was the main event of the State of Play, which is, of course, the thing y'all were expecting me to be excited for. Yeah, Super Robot Wars Y. So, basically, we got an announcement for the release date for the DLC. We got an announcement for date for the DLC, and it's actually releasing in late November. Which is, it means that, that's a lot sooner than I was expecting. Sleep says, I also didn't list this on my interest from the shows. I'd already purchased it when I pre-ordered the game. That one I kind of figured. Sleep says, at least I'm returning to this when the DLC drops. Well. So yeah, I'd said that I wanted to wait to play Super Robot Wars Y until after the DLC comes out, because this will mean that Big O and Kamen Rider Double will be in the game when I finally get to play on stream. So it's good that it's releasing earlier. That is actually really good, because that means that I could actually get it earlier. However, again, I know I keep bringing this up, but it's just a case of well, I need to get money somehow. So, Pokemon Scoop says, nope, I had no clue. Had no clue. None whatsoever. Nope, not idea. Not an inkling of a guess. Not an inkling of a guess. So also, something other... Wait, what the heck are you doing here? What the heck are you doing there? Iris from Super Robot Wars 30? But anyway, in addition to this, okay, well, in addition to the normal thing of like, oh wow, we got an announcement date for the DLC. So this was, oh dang, they're adding challenge missions. Yep. And I'm a little surprised this wasn't in the game when it released, but at least it's being added in available as a free update. Okay, so okay, the DLC 1 area mission is available as a free update. Okay, so the first Kamen Rider Double mission is actually like a free update. That's cool. Oh wait. Okay, November 17th, special mission Battle Rush added. DLC early access November 18th, official release November 20th. 5 new playable units, 16 new area missions, 2 new assist crew members, 13 new armor missions. So, okay, there's also something else that's interesting because of this, and this is something that I don't think has been mentioned much. Because this was a state of play that was a Japanese state of play that everyone was watching just because it was like, even though it was like in only it had English subtitles, and because it was like it was a Japanese state of play that was being like actually advertised. Um, but because this was here, this is probably the first time this is the first time that a common writer in any sort of video game, in any sort of video game appearance, has been shown in like one of these major game announcement events. Sleep says this might be the first exposure that SRW has gotten. It kind of is, yeah. I mean, like, of course, people who knew about Super Robot Wars, like, were as soon as like a trailer dropped, we all found out about it because we hunt down this sort of information. And so yeah, of course, as soon as a trailer for a new Super Wars game was going to release, I was gonna tell you all about it because yeah, it's me. But yeah, this was kind of the first like trailer that got like a wide announcement. It got a wide announcement, and it was because it was in, and it was really just because it was in the state of play. Sleeper says, "Oh, sure, we knew, but the general populace, yeah, exactly." Because usually these sort of trailers, they only get like, and they get shown, the Super Robot Wars trailers get shown off in these like sort of game announcement events, or these game announcement like state of plays, Nintendo Directs or such. But it's always in just the Japanese one, which everyone, when haven't given the option, most people most people usually watch the one that's in there, or usually most people in America watch the one that's in English because they it's in English. So yeah. So yeah, this is kind of a big yeah, the this is kind of a big deal because yeah, in addition to Sleep says, I watched that whole showcase yesterday in Japanese. Well, yeah, no, well, I mean, Sleep says, and I liked it. Sleep was the showcase. I mean, the showcase was only available in Japanese. It just had English subtitles this time. I think that really is like the main thing. If the Yeah, I think that is the main thing. Like, just because they were like, okay, we're gonna have subtitles. We're not even gonna like bother dubbing this. Or like bringing other voices. We're just gonna have the Japanese audio, and we're just gonna like release subtitles in different languages. I think just because it's funny how that small little thing like actually got people to watch the Japanese direct. So it says, I know, lol. So Pokemon Q says Nintendo Directs in the UK is just sub, no dubbing. But so yeah, that was kind of the it. Of course, it's not helped by the fact that we haven't gotten a Kamen Rider game since Memory of Heroes, which also ironically had a Kamen Rider double in it, and that was back in 2020 or 2020. It was 2020. It was 2020. That was because I played that game like right before I graduated college. So yeah. So he says, which the guy they had doing the MC work is a pretty popular VA. He's Aaron Yeager in AOT. Ah, I see. That's what he's from. I thought I recognized him from something. Well, I didn't explicitly recognize him from Attack on Titan because I haven't seen Attack on Titan, but I feel like I've heard his voice in multiple other works. I just wasn't sure if he was a voice actor or not. Oh, and then the last thing to mention in these announcements, and then we'll go back, and then I'll go back to Super, or excuse, then I'll go back to Mega Man Zero too. Pokemon Rescues, he's Tega's sword currently too. Oh, okay, that I would recognize him from. That I would recognize him. Also, poor guy. Also, dang. Well, no, not poor. Well, not him. Not poor him because nothing had happened to him. Just dang. Uh, just going back to poor Mai Inamori. Jeez, I think that I will. I've said before that I hadn't fully caught up on Goes Yuger because of everything that's been happening to me, and I was like many episodes behind. But I was still really interested in like catching up on the series when I got the chance. But I feel like my that whole announcement for like my Inamori being released from the kicked out of the series, or yeah, being like forced to leave the series, and like all images of her being scrubbed out of the series. I think that is just really that is. I don't know if Goes Yuger is going to ever be able to recover from that. Even if the show's story ends up being good, I don't know if it's going to be able to recover from that unless somehow something is worked out to where is able to return. But even then, she might not want to just because of like how she was treated for this, or how she was treated because of this. But anyway, okay. So there's one last trailer that got released today, which I had to bring up, which is the Mario movie sequel trailer. We got our first trailer for the second Mario movie, which I'm interested in because I kind of I kind of enjoyed the first movie, and I just enjoyed the first. I did overall enjoy the first Mario movie, but also it is really funny that in the same year I finally got to be in the same year another one of those cases where I somehow like caused I like game prophecy power. It's just very funny that like only right after I beat Mario Galaxy for the first time, it was announced that the new Mario movie is Mario Galaxy. Also, that we got the Mario they Nintendo finally released a dang actual collection for Mario Galaxy on Switch. Slim says he's also Todoroki in MHA. Oh jeez. As a adult Christian in Y series, Seth and Undernight, Meliodas and Seven Deadly Sins. Oh jeez. And Speedo Sound Sonic from One Punch Man. Pokemon Rescue is a very busy VA.
You wanted to see us?
Don't move, I'll be right up.
Very fun thing just right off the bat for the trailer. I love that Luigi and Bowser kind of like each other. They're kind of bros.
Clean at the paint. Boodle-doo, boodle-doo. And also trim the bonsai bush. Here we go.
Like Bowser and Mario freaking hate each other, but I like that.
Hey, Luigi. What's up, Mario?
That I kind of like that Luigi and Bowser get along, but Mario and Bowser don't.
I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do
Okay, I have to pause the trailer to mention this because for one thing, it's really funny. That's like for one thing, they totally did this because of how many people thought Bowser was hot after the Mario movie. But also, something funny is that this painting was actually painted by someone. It was like only a little after this trailer release did the artist, who I don't remember their name off the top of my head, so I apologize for that. But they're a Brazilian artist, and they posted I believe on Twitter they posted something that said, "Never would in my wildest dreams would I imagine that I would be asked to make this painting of Hot Bowser for an official Mario thing made by Miyamoto himself." So Nintendo went to this man and told him, "We need you to draw this. We need, we need, we need you to make." I don't know if he's an artist who. I don't know if he was an artist who was already hired by the company, or if he was just like an artist that they brought in to do this like image. But that is just so. This is this is like exactly the sort of art that people were drawing of Bowser after the um after the Mario movie, the first Mario movie released, and Nintendo got someone to do their, and Nintendo hired someone to make their
The
own.
colors.
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that?
I'll burn the skin off your bones.
You know, I'm actually on Bowser's side for this one. How like he worked hard on that. How could you just freaking tell him it's awful?
Wow. Sorry about that. That's the old Bowser talking. Still working through my demons, I suppose.
This confirms that demons are canon to Mario.
Anyway, I need my 8 hours or else I really turn into a monster.
So, This movie trailer, okay, it looks really nice, like visually, but something this is something that bothered me in the first movie, and it bothers me in a different way in this trailer, is that in the first movie they kept throwing in like pop songs to try and for some reason, and it really when it which is insane because the Mario series has, I mean, just by how many Mario games there have been so many like amazing songs from Mario games. Like the soundtracks from you could make the soundtracks from Galaxy and a lot of the Mario RPGs in my opinion, could rival the soundtracks for a lot of movies, or surpass the soundtracks for a lot of movies. So it was insane that they need to come up with pop songs. And in another way here, it's weird. It feels really weird hearing the game like this trailer give like an epic movie version of just the the World 1-1 theme. One of the most unserious songs. Just one of the most like it's just a jaunty tune. Prowler. That's the song. That's the beat that happens whenever in the Enter the Spider Verse, whenever Prowler would appear. Like they're using that to make Bowser Jr. look big, which is which again I get this is trying to go to like general audiences, but a lot of people who are going to be watching this are people who like Mario. So it's just funny that they're trying to go like, oh yeah, Bowser Jr. is the threat. I will say it did look really. It did look like again. This is just like a 2 minute long trailer, but it did look like they're gonna get to show Peach doing more, which is good. Pokemon just waiting for the Zelda soundtrack to get picked up for the films.
Junior, and I'm gonna be taking my father now.
Seriously, it's a song everybody knows. Dang it!
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me.
Yeah, this is my queen. They made Rosalina look amazing in this. Yeah, they made Rosalina look amazing at that. Oh, I'm gonna go back. They made Rosalina look amazing at that, with just that brief thing of her taking out that boss from Galaxy all on her own. It is a little. Well, I was about to say that it is a little crazy that we're gonna get Rosalina a movie before Daisy, but actually, I can see that. Mario Galaxy is one of the most high. Again, this was Mario Galaxy's anniversary. I think this was an anniversary year for Mario Galaxy, and Mario Galaxy is one of the most highly praised Mario games ever. And that was Rosalina's game, so it actually does make sense. But yeah, they just from this they made her look like just from this little snippet they showed off her powers really well. So says, "All right, finishing Sky first chapter," which well, I already get the feeling you to for Sleepless and the other Princess Rosalina fans, batten down the hatches, or like get seated and get ready for the wave, because I'm willing. Just how the first Mario movie, just from the first Mario movie, we got a surge in Bowser and Princess Peach fan art. I could just I am just picturing like a tidal wave, a tsunami of Rosalina fan art. Pokemon Mascu's just from that she could just solo the entire threat. But overall, that did look like a nice trailer. I think I think it was like trying too hard to be too serious, which I get. Which I'm just mentioning that because I feel like that's going to be the thing that that's a thing that like that might reflect on the movie overall. And it's like that like it's gonna try to be too serious. I mean, like a Mario story done seriously can work. But when you're doing a Mario movie, it's like the when you're doing a Mario movie, like the whole, especially a Mario Galaxy movie, like I wasn't when I even from just my playthrough, my first playthrough of Mario Galaxy, I could tell that like that whole thing was like that game has an atmosphere to it, but it's not like a serious atmosphere. It's like a it's like a more like a what's the word I'm looking for? Delightful atmosphere. It's one of the few. It's what I said this when I played like at the end of Mario Galaxy, but it's one of the few games I could think of where that has like a big focus on atmosphere, but isn't actually like not in a serious fashion. Unlike games like Metroid or Dark Souls, where like those their atmosphere kind of like install like makes you feel always like on edge. Here, let me just get back to the game. Uh, Unlike those games, which atmosphere like always makes you feel like you're feel on edge. Galaxy's Galaxy's atmosphere kind of makes you feel like there's a lot of wonder. Really, just like Mario Galaxy's atmosphere is like just like, oh man, look, man, space is so cool. Donkey Master uses just from that she could just solo the entire threat. Well, we'll have to see. It looked like Bowser Jr. and Bowser were gonna be the main threats, but it could be something else. Actually, I just realized if Bowser Jr. is in the Mario movie, I wonder if there's a chance that we're gonna find out how exactly like who's Bowser Jr.'s mom. Will we finally find the answer to the question that everyone has wanted to know since the Mario series began? Who canonically fucked Bowser? Lucky Mask, so for me, the three things were the Digimon Time Stranger DLC, Monster Hunter Wilds big update, 3 Elden Ring Night Rain DLC. Ah, jeez. I guess, yeah. Let me... Ah, dang it. So I'm gonna try actually beat this thing now. Okay. Yeah, let me go and use this early. It's funny how it is a little sad that out of that entire Mario trailer, the thing that people were least excited for was Mario, just because of who's playing him. Which, I mean, is completely understandable because of who's playing him. But... Oh, wait. Gotta get rid of the... thank you, Sleepless. I was right about to get rid of them. I think. Ow. Thanks. Ow. This Buster isn't doing a lot of damage to this thing, but it's the safest option, I feel. Okay, I better go and use. Now, just going back to the time about that Mario movie trailer, if it turns out that Bowser and Bowser Jr. are not the main threats again, then who would be? I'm curious. It definitely could still be Bowser, and that would be interesting thing to do. Because most of these franchise movies adapting some other work, they usually just have like one character being the villain for one of the things. They don't really have like a villain being the villain again. Except for, I believe, the maybe the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movies. I haven't seen those, so I don't know if that's the case, but yeah, if that is the case where Bowser is still the main villain, that would be interesting. Because, I mean, that's the case for the majority of the... That's the case for the majority of the Mario games. Bowser is usually the main villain. And a lot of times, even in the cases where he's not the overall villain, he's usually helping them out. Or is still incredibly antagonistic towards Mario. Still feels really weird hearing Mario, Chris Pratt's voice for Mario. And just how un-Italian it sounds. Because I've played so many Mario games, I just can't get the idea of Mario not being the wacky Wahoo, being the Wahoo Italian guy. Okay, and